Hey guys, what's up? I ain't doing nothing today. I've applied to 50 jobs over the past 3 months. I graduated in May and I was applying for jobs even before that. So yeah, 50 jobs, and I haven't heard a word from any of them. 3 of them I have contacted personally, and they've told me they would let me know if I got the job or not, and did not even send me an email when I didn't get the job. Anyways, I'm bored, and I've applied to enough jobs today. I'm so done with that, and we are looking at stylization monthly recap number 4 for the game Entropos, which I don't really know too much about, but it's supposed to be like a voxel battlefield FPS shooter that's supposed to have like detailed gunsmithing and detailed everything. So anyways, let's just move along.
Welcome to Status Entropos devblog.
He's using
In this
Blender.
video, we want to talk about the philosophy behind the game's visual style, why we didn't go for photorealistic graphics, what our approach to animation is, and what interesting features to expect, and
I mean, it's not fully realistic, but it looks amazing.
of course, much more. Style. Why this particular direction? Sometimes people ask.
And I like how
why
they
we
went with this poly style, but it's still like proportional human characteristics. Like it's not like I think it's literally called polygon, but I don't know. They have like huge heads and stuff, but this is just like proportional to like the human body.
don't just add more polygons and make it realistic, like every other military shooter, or on the other hand, why not simplify it all the way like many stylized games do? 2 years ago, when we firmly decided to start making our own shooter, we had to make a lot of fundamental choices. From what kind of gameplay the game would have, to also what it would look like, how it would be perceived by players, and what impressions it would give to new audiences seeing videos or screenshots for the first time. Realism was discarded from the start. That's a cliché, but also a difficult path that often leads to a dead end. If you play a lot, you've probably noticed that the overwhelming majority of indie tactical shooters look almost identical. Same lighting, similar colors, similar textures, similar models, and that's if
Yeah,
they
like
don't
half
use
the time I can't even tell what game Ready or Not is whenever I see gameplay of it, because I've seen so many games that look very similar to it. The only way that I could possibly see it different is when they like go up to an enemy and they start like telling it what to do, and they're like, good down, good down. You're like moving their gun all over the place, and the guy in front of them is just like, huh? You know what I mean? That's the only way I can tell what Ready or Not is from visuals alone.
the same exact asset packs, in which case it is almost impossible to be able to tell one game from another. You get a decent average look, but nothing memorable. And even the best realistic graphics don't surprise anyone anymore. Graphics haven't really aged in years. Even a nearly decade-old game like Battlefield 1 still looks amazing,
Yes.
but unique. Memorable visual style is something else entirely. Think of BattleBit, Repel,
BattleBit.
or Due Process.
BattleBit and Due Process. Those are very good examples.
Of course, big studios can create something truly outstanding, but for us and hundreds of other indie developers, without those resources, it makes little sense to even enter the race when our biggest advantage is the small size and independence of the team. Unlike
I'm glad that he talked about the small file size, because games that are like way too highly realistic do have insane game sizes. Black Ops alone is like 300 gigs for Xbox. Black Ops 6 for Steam, right now I have it downloaded to 150 gigs. But that's after like continuous updates of optimization. This game will most likely launch with at most 60 gigs. I wouldn't even think it would be 60 gigs. It would probably be like 30 or something like that. But I'm giving it even like a generous amount, and it's still better than Call of Duty.
big companies who stick to safe paths, we can experiment, and we know many of you are tired of every shooter looking the same in recent years. On the other hand, we can't overdo the stylization. Status Entropos isn't a goofy shooter for low-end PCs and not a toy world for kids. The visuals have to immediately say what kind of game this
Yeah, that is amazing. I can't wait to see what this game comes out.
is. We need a grounded, convincing, at times heavy and bleak look, not simplification for the sake of it or to chase a casual audience. When developing the art style, we didn't so much look to existing low-poly styles as to the idea of planar head sculpture from art school.
That is a good, yeah, because there's a way you can stylize things where it's still satisfying to the human eye to actually comprehend and see it as still being human and not like goofy.
Using simple shapes to convey character, from dynamics, lighting, and shadow, and
Then you gotta
most
thicken that butt
importantly,
area. Don't be
to
afraid of the butt
maintain
area.
realistic
Marines
proportions.
got that thick butt, bro. Except for my boy Brandon. I'm sorry, Brandon, but I mean he's kind of got a butt now. Brandon's kind of got a butt now. I would agree, probably. If any of my friends are watching this video, you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
From there, we worked out the details. Every screw on a weapon, every major fold on clothing, every feature in a character's face. Only geometry is simplified, but the character and personality remain. We also draw inspiration from social realism and brutalism. The
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. I do love Russian architecture, and this is one of them. I don't know if this is directly from Russia, but they do have architecture in Russia that looks insanely awesome like this.
heavy, monumental, even threatening features. Combined with faded colors and PBR textures, these faceted shapes reinforce the harshness of the world and ultimately gameplay of Status Entropos. Developing the style is a huge step early on, since you need to carefully work out the rules for everything.
This is miles cooler than anything Call of Duty is putting out right now. Even anything that Battlefield is putting out right now. Like, even in the new Battlefield trailer that I also reacted to, that's gonna be like, right there. Click it. Anyways, even even the most modern shooters that we're looking at right now, nothing compares to this still shot of a like Spetsnaz soldier or something. I don't know flags that well or patches that well. Spetsnaz soldier covered in blood, staring at the camera with pressed AK-12 in his arms. Like, that is awesome. But in Call of Duty, we have American Dad.
From weapons and characters to lighting, textures, typography, and UI. But after that, the game becomes visually unique, recognizable, and authentic.
I like how they blended these two together. Like, this is too stylized for, like, a very serious military shooter. I mean, you could still probably make a good Battlefield-esque game with this type of graphics. I think, like, the best thing that I can say that represents what is happening currently with indie games is that with indie games, they are proving that it doesn't matter how good the graphics are. If the optimization is bad, if the ease of life of access through the UI or whatever is bad, which Call of Duty and Battlefield both suffer from. Even Delta Force suffers from it. Just terrible UI. You can't fix anything you want without watching like a 20-minute video on it. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, they're proving that those things are what kills games, not bad graphics. And these aren't even considered bad graphics. It's lower quality graphics, but it's miles better than what like Killing Floor 3 looks like right now. I mean, Killing Floor 3 looks worse than a PS1 game in my opinion. But I digress.
To make our own. We even had to design our own font for small text like weapon engravings. Rounded fonts just didn't fit. Oh, and by the way, once the game hits early access, we'll make this font free for everyone.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Stylization lets us engage your imagination more easily, without giving everything away. For example, if we depict a gruesome dismemberment scene in rough shapes, we don't have to show every detail. Some things are intentionally left unsaid, so your mind fills in the blanks and the moment feels more personal and sometimes even more horrific. The game remains a game, not a gore simulator for maniacs, and we don't...
There's blood in the eye itself too, dude. That is so crazy cool looking. I hope this actually, what they're showing right now with the bloody soldier and everything like that, I hope that this is like what happens when you get shot too many times and you're basically like on 1 health or something. That would look amazing. Like, imagine a guy coming at you with 1 health and he looks like that. He's like coming at you with a knife or something like that. That is terrifying.
Go crazy ourselves, spending hundreds of hours obsessing over such moments. In the future, we want to introduce the so-called entropy system that we recently described. Over time, characters and weapons will get dirtier and more pale.
Entropy system, that's good. Like the slow decline of conformity to chaos, that's what that literally means.
In longer game modes, where the match can last half an hour, you'll really notice it. You start off the game fairly clean, but by the end, you're covered in scratches and grime, and you're really gonna look like you spent time in the trenches.
Okay, so that's what you look like at the end of the game, like of the match. That is sick, dude. Oh my god, this is awesome.
Again, when you have straightforward visual rules, it's much easier to create these kinds of details than if you had to mimic every nuance of photorealistic graphics. Here's a little personal secret about us. We love the animations in old games. There's something special about them. Battlefield 3 and 4, Medal of Honor, Warfighter, Call of Duty Ghost, Contract Wars, Payday 2.
Oh, he said my beloved Contract Wars. I haven't played Contract Wars in years, dude. I fucking love Contract Wars.
List goes on, and each had its own strengths. Some were sharp and precise, other theatrical and expressive. In 2019, Call of Duty set a new trend with highly detailed, lifelike animations, shaky, full of little imperfections. By 2023, though, COD had become a parody of itself, as did dozens of its copycats. And with all these observations, we picked out what we love and hate about both eras of animation, and now are forming our own style. Detailed, crisp, realistically accurate
So it's
animation.
gonna be not as like crazy as the animations are in Call of Duty now, but sort of like Modern Warfare 2019. So it's like more realistic, but not crazy. I like that. I like that. Me personally, I don't have any complaints with the animations in Call of Duty right now. I think they're peak, but I can see where people can be a little turned off by it, especially with how detailed they are.
But without cartoonishness, over-the-top flair, or gun tricks.
Yeah, gun tricks.
Many animations will depend on different contexts. Take reloads, for instance. You've got a classic pair, full and tactical. Add stance, now you get prone reloads. Stress level, your character hurriedly drops the mag and fumbles with the new one. And finally, add faction, since you're gonna be able to pick out weapons from fallen enemies and grab gear from the opposing side with the trooper class. We also want to experiment with reload speeds. Normally, the fastest reload in-game is the tactical reload, since you don't have to chamber around. In Entropos, though, we want to see it differently. Since we also care about handling pouches, it makes sense to account for the time it takes to
Notice like how much the camera movement is for the head whenever he is like clicking something in place. That is another major animation thing that a lot of games, or a lot of indie games, don't recognize, is like the amount of shakiness that occurs when you like slam something as heavy as a mag into a gun does.
Half empty mag. So you get a new hierarchy. A tactical reload with a mag drop is faster than a full reload with a mag drop, but a tactical reload with a mag retention is much slower than both with a quick drop. You get options: shoot a lot and reload quickly, at the cost of dropping leftover rounds, or be careful and deliberate, taking time to...
I paused it right when this rocket was being shot at this guy. I hope that if they make attachments that increase reload speed or some type of movement, they are actually using that attachment to increase that movement. So for example, like in Delta Force right now, there's a mag slip thing on the bottom of the mag, and it's supposed to increase your reload speed, but they don't actually use it to like increase its reload speed. Now, I'm not saying that they should actually like pull on the mag pull. All I'm trying to say is like make attachments that make sense in real life, that makes aim down sight faster. Like a reflex sight is not going to make your aim down sight fast. Maybe it'll like make your precision faster. Just make attachments that make sense as to what they do for the upgrade. So for example, if I wanted an attachment that increases my move down sight speed from the base move down sight speed, then it would be a smaller barrel or no stock or a smaller magazine or something like that, because it's lighter, or the gun has more cavities in it that like decrease the weight or something like that. Something that makes sense. Don't just make a magazine have like a clip on it and say that it has a faster reload if it doesn't actually have a faster reload. I mean, in like the older Call of Duties, the faster reload was usually the flip mag. Like if you had a flip mag, it was faster because it makes sense. All you have to do is flip it. You don't have to like take it out, get a mag from your pouch, and put it back in. In newer Call of Duties now, when you have a fast mag, it's literally just the person reloads magically faster. Like it's that's it. But there was literally structurally nothing different between the first mag that he had and then the mag that had a slower reload speed. That's the point I'm trying to get across.
to stow your mags. In essence, we are not splitting reloads into the classic reload in time versus if you don't, you get punished. We split them into safe and calm and quick and aggressive. In the tough, stressful conditions we want to create, the last thing we want to take from you is control over your character. A course, you'll be able to resupply from ammo crates or at least repack half-empty mags into full ones. We even have a special animation for that.
Oh, so they have special animations for splitting half mags into full mags. That is interesting. That's gonna add a whole new level of strategy inside of your head.
In June, we reworked the character and animation skeleton, creating a whole bunch of handy tools for ourselves, from properly bending fingers with soft fingertip deformations to various rotators and even the ability to roll up sleeves, like in healing animations. In first-person games, character modeling is often overlooked, since you rarely see your own characters and enemies are usually at a distance, but instead as Entropos there will be a lot of teamwork with allies and close-quarter fights, so
I'm glad that they're focusing on third-person animation, because Call of Duty even has bad third-person animation sometimes.
Keep a high level of detail here too. In Entropos, body armor and vests aren't a part of the character's model, so they don't bend and move with the body, which makes the animations feel more believable and characters in gear feel bulkier and sturdier. We've properly implemented weight distribution systems like STKSS and equivalents. Also, in the future, we plan to bring the philosophy of deep weapon customization, which we wrote about on Patreon, to the character as well. We are working on the foundations for these systems right now. To wrap up, some good news. We finally finished writing the server subsystem, assembled a small internal build, and launched it on our own dedicated server. This means we just need to tie the existing mechanics to the new netcode, and in the fall we'll return as planned with the second version of the pre-alpha, this time with online playtests for you. Our team has also completed work on our own fairly robust authorization systems. We're no longer dependent on Steam, which is especially important in light of recent game bans. This month's budget is on your screens. Once again, thank you for your support. You are making this happen, so thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And, of course, thank you for being here with us. See you next month,
like
troopers.
A whole month's rent to make this game. Okay, that's crazy. So, okay, I haven't watched a lot of the monthly recaps. This is actually the first monthly recap I've seen, so this is probably me just being behind. But I really hope I'm able to play this alpha, because I want some gameplay of this on my channel immediately. I want to play this game. The only thing I'm worried about for this game as far as existing is the fact that Battlefield 6 is going to probably grab a lot more people's attention than this game. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. I think Entropos, if they want to play it smart, they wait till after the Battlefield 6 launches, play the Battlefield 6 game, and then see what they can do to make their game better. Because otherwise, if they don't wait and they just launch it, which I don't think they're just going to launch it, because I'm pretty sure Battlefield 6 comes out in like another 2 months or something like that, or 3 months. Which would be crazy as fuck if that was the case, but I don't know for sure. But I heard it was sometime this year that it's coming out. If that's the case, they should wait until next year in the early months, like maybe January or February. If they already have a build that they're ready to launch, I don't think they do. I think this video alone kind of summarized that it's not there yet. But they should definitely take inspiration from Battlefield 6, because otherwise, if Battlefield 6 makes a better game, then they just spent all of this time and money on something that could never top AAA developer right now. So I think they could truly make it if Battlefield 6 proves to be not as good as it's trying to say it is. Or if Entropos waits till after the launch and tries to make it even better than Battlefield 6. So far, what Entropos has over Battlefield 6 is probably going to be pricing. The pricing's probably going to be way less. I wouldn't expect them to charge us $80 for this game. They would probably charge us like maybe at most $40 for it, which I would still buy it regardless if it was a full build. It's going to have a better communication with the community, although Battlefield 6 devs have had pretty good communication with the community so far. This, being an indie developer in general, automatically gives them that amount of connectedness with the community. So that alone means that they will probably be better at communicating. And then it is the style in that the size of the game is probably going to be better. That's all they have so far. If they make the gunsmithing somehow better than Battlefield 6, I'm going to make a reaction video on the Battlefield 6 gunsmith and everything like that. If it's somehow better than that, if it's somehow better mechanics-wise than Battlefield 6, and that it just has more content, like unlocking stuff, rankings, maybe even a campaign, possibly. You don't have to do that, but that would give it a lot more appeal if there was some sort of story, even if it was short. Or just give like a dev video on what the story is. I don't know. Either way, if they can do all those things after Battlefield 6 launches, they will do so much better. That's my opinion. I could be wrong in that. I'm not like an expert in gaming advertising and launching or anything like that. I am not good at marketing whatsoever. But that's my opinion. I would be kind of sad if Black Ops 6 and Entropos launched at the same time. I don't think that's something I need to worry about. But all I'm trying to say is that if Battlefield 6 turns out to be amazing, I will be sad because I really want to play Entropos. But if Battlefield 6 really is as good as it's going to be, or is as good as people are saying, then I'm going to be sad because I've been looking forward to Entropos for so long. But at the same time, Battlefield is a AAA developer, and if they're going to do all the things that Entropos already does, then I might as well just play that game. Unless the size is like 600 gigs or something like that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.